we've got these great tires called Dunlops that are great in the middle and the back end of the race, but they're not quite snappy in terms of getting up to temps and pressures for a short qualifying stint. But no complaints. We knew about that, and we gave it a pretty good run. Neither car finished qualified where we wanted to. It was also about 20 degrees cooler this morning than yesterday, so that for qualifying. So we had both knowledge of the tires being slow to get up to temps, and the qualifying conditions were much cooler than yesterday's practice run. So those are the cars we were dealt with, and it's already warm now. It's a little, except we were racing 2 hours ago.
I'd say we're halfway to where we need to be. I mean, Mark obviously struggled in qualifying slightly, coming 19th, and obviously I was 12th. So we're heading in the right direction. We just need the consistency for both myself and Mark.
Then to start the race, 3 corners from the end, as we're trying to all concertina up to start, Porsche and I come together, and he bangs into me at a turn-in 3 corners from the end, from where we're going to turn onto the main straight. So we had a huge 5-second gap as everybody recovered, 5-second gap between me and the pack, which is a real waste. That's just free time thrown away. Holding off Paul van Splinteren in the number 1 or 2 Porsche, good Porsche, cost us another couple of seconds, maybe another 5 seconds fighting with him over nothing. And even once I let him through, for example, on him, I thought I'd easily stay with him, and I didn't. So, just challenging.
Mark handed over to me in 20th, I believe, and I just had half an hour to try and get as many cars as possible, and managed to pick off 5 of them, and fairly cautious, so maybe we could have done a bit better. But when you know you're not in the points, there's no point making a load of work for the guys for no reward.
The top Audi there in that race was 14th. So they generally really seem to be struggling here for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Pre-season testing here, the car felt great. We did a test this week. Our usual warm-up to an FIA race at Snetterton, the car felt great. And we've come here and we just seem to be lacking, particularly to the competition. The Ferrari and the BMW seem to be in a class of their own at the moment, and all Audis are really struggling to compete at the moment.
You need to have some invented overtaking spots, because we're just not that quick in a straight line. So I always manage to pick up a quirky overtaking spot, and this time it's into sort of Brooklands and Luffield, and I think on the Ford GT I came from about 12 lengths back, and I actually saw in my mirror him sort of swerve, because I don't think he even knew I was coming. So it was good fun, and had a fair amount of sponsors from Engage and Draper Tools as well, watching at the BRDC, so it was a good place to try and entertain them.
Zach really struggled with the handling of the car, came in and handed it over to me, and he'd made a couple of comments on the radio, and I immediately knew what he'd been talking about when I went out. The handling of the car was quite bad. I had quite a lot of understeer into all the corners, which would then sort of in the middle of the corner, because I had so much understeer, I had to slow the car right down, quite a lot of steering lock on, and then it would just flick to oversteer on the exit. They're having a look over the car to see if anything was wrong. I hope there was.
Yeah, we struggled all weekend. I'm glad the weekend's over. A couple weeks ago we won. That was fantastic. This wasn't such a good weekend. It was a combination of problems. Our tires, the Dunlop tires, are really good in warm conditions. It's raining now. It's supposed to be really hot this weekend, so that didn't play to our advantage. And there was a safety car early in the race, which doesn't help, because usually the Michelins fall off at a bigger pace. So our tire strategy wasn't right. I had a gearbox issue, but we weren't on the pace, and and the Audis in general weren't on the pace this weekend. So one of those weekends that you'll forget about, and you want to start over in Navarra, and it's a long championship. We're 4 races into it now, so character building, I guess, is how we would call it.
With 3 minutes to go, give me 2 more laps and 3.2 seconds through Abbey to Farm they go. In first place there with Didier, that's round 4.
I started 12th and the start was okay, held my own to the first corner, and then it started all kicking off to my inside, so I took stage left and sort of used some of the runoff and joined the track a bit later on, still in 12th, so I hadn't lost anything. And then the safety car came out straight away, which was okay. I felt quite confident, giving me some more time to get heat in the Dunlop tyres, which is where we struggle against the Michelin, so I was happy. Restart, got down the inside of a Ferrari, and don't know what the guy's problem was, but he didn't want me to be there, so he forced me off the track completely, and I lost 3 places to the Mercedes. And the rest of my stint was pretty much following an SLS Mercedes, so every single corner I'd be all over the back of him, and when we come out the corner he could put his foot down and just drive away. So he was obviously very good at driving away from me. Just a lot more torque out of the car, so he just managed to power out and just get it away. And then got the call from Paul to come into the pits that lap, and then always happens this way, and I finally got around him and tried to put me in the old pit wall actually, but wasn't having much of it, and managed to force him off, and it worked out alright, and pit stop was good, and then obviously Mark had his stint, and we ended up where we were. We've got lots of corporate guests from Draper Tools and Engage, so they'll definitely go home with a smile on their face. They've had a really good day. So it's obviously the podium that was lacking, but we can't always do all of that. We'll keep trying, and I'm confident we'll be better at Navarra with the heat and some more changes hopefully for the balance of performance.